If you are truly being intentional in your life and you want to find love and you're just over the dating, okay, make sure to subscribe because this is all the things that I'm all about. I found my happily ever after my person. We've been married together for 16 years. So if that resonates with you, if you want no BS, straight advice on how you can find it too, make sure you subscribe. Make this a habit where you can always find out when I post a new episode every Monday and Thursday. Love is Blind UK. Oh my gosh. We talked about the first 4 episodes that were released, and now the next few episodes were released, and I'm obsessed and I love it. And this is so good for you guys. Even if you don't watch it, listen. And you're going to be obsessed with it, even hearing about me talking about because there's so much to learn. And you can see, oh my gosh, these are things that you can learn for your own life as you're dating and seeing what the red flags are and what it is you're actually wanting to find. Okay, so I first want to talk about Freddie and Cat. Oh my goodness, there's a few things that are so important that are happening. So like at first, there's like a lot of sexual tension. They're attracted to each other. They have like best friend vibes, but there's something that's happening that is awful. And if you've ever experienced this, you have to, this is going to resonate with you. Freddie is like, I joke around too much and I think I need to tone it down. That's what he was saying. And this is where when you're finding the right person, you don't feel like you have to tone it down. You're only gonna feel like you shine brighter. And so you really see Freddie's light really starting to dim during those episodes. And Kat is just starting to be more like irritable with him, short fused and judgy, and maybe even like not lacking respect for him. And so like you wonder, where did that all come from? Well, there was a conversation that they had. She asked him a question. This is after, they already made it out of the pods and they're living together. And then she asked, have you ever cheated? Now, you guys, I'm shocked that she did not ask him that in the pods. Okay, so she asked him this afterwards. And he says yes. And he said that he wasn't proud of it. He regretted it. And it was like 7 years ago. But she's always been cheated on. And so automatically she's triggered. All her insecurities come up. Like the thing that you really want to have is feel safe and secure with your partner. And when he said that to her, she just didn't feel that way anymore. And she was just super, like you could just feel it. You could see it, how it was like walls coming up, guarding her heart. She didn't fully trust anymore. And I honestly don't agree with how Kat handled that. I do not, because she even said one time, once you cheat, you always cheat. And actually, like I used to think like that, but I feel like there's a lack of emotional maturity with that. There's so much growth that can happen in someone's life, and it really depends on their journey and how they're willing to own it, take responsibility for it, reflect and see why you did it and why are you never going to do it. So I feel like he probably could have communicated in a little better way to help her feel more secure. And she could have probed and asked more questions to get that reassurance. But it was like, as soon as he said that, she's like, once a cheat, always a cheat. It like, they just grew so far apart. Like their communication just completely fell apart. And it was a shame. Like it was so sad. And then you could see him talking to his sister. And he's like, I don't know, she loves this type of life of like, going out, which she later says, like, you're trying to pin me as a materialistic person, high maintenance kind of person, when that's not me. So she's getting really frustrated with Freddie, and because she's misunderstood. And so like now it's kind of like they're kind of trying to just see what's wrong with it, and even maybe creating problems that aren't even there. And the sister, Freddie, says to him, well, what if she's not good enough for you? And it's not about good enough for you or good enough. I really feel like everyone needs to just chill the hell out with that. I think it's more about, are you guys aligned? That's it. Alignment. If you're not aligned, then that's it. And so if she wants to have a life that you're going out and doing whatever she wants to do, there's nothing wrong with that. And, it says me, who I'm always, when I met Will was like totally happy, just probably staying in more than anything. And he always, I'm his priority, you know. So my husband of like what 16 years, right? And he's like, what lights you up? Like that's like, you know, what do you want to do? Okay, let's go. Like he loved to travel. He family's priority, but going out wasn't his thing so much, right? And he was into food, but not as much as like, oh my god, a foodie going into Michelin stars, right? What I'm trying to say is that Will made me a priority. He was up for growth. He was like, oh well, tell me, like, what is it about that you like that? I want to explore that. And I think Freddie's really lacking that. Freddie's not like, instead of just saying, oh my God, tell me where you want to go. Like, I've never been there, but I'm curious. I want to check it out. Or that makes you happy. Let's go. He's more like, I've never dated a girl like that. I'm like, ew, Freddie. Like, I was like, what is that? And Kat's dad gave such good advice. He met them. They were so lovely, Kat's parents. And he says to Freddie, hey, you know, it's about being a team and open and stay open-minded. And I feel like Freddie hopefully will take that advice. Freddie is like sounding so close-minded, and it has to be like his way. And he has all these judgments of her, like she's materialistic and she's this type of girl. And he's asking for a prenup. And, you know, I don't think it's awful that, you know, he's asking for a prenup. I just truly feel that their way of communicating is total shit. Like they're just not, I feel like it's so guarded. Like ever since that conversation about the cheating, walls came up, they became distant. No one's really communicating vulnerably. Everyone's guarding their heart. And so, you know, there's a way to communicate that where you're not coming off like, I don't trust you, bitch. Like that's what it feels like with Freddie. Freddie's like, I don't trust you. And you use after money, you high maintenance asshole. Like that's honestly the energy of it. It's really just not pleasant to see. So like they're really deteriorating. So I'm going to guess, because the next episodes are coming out, so hopefully you can catch up or, you know, whatever. My bet is that they're not going to get married. Okay. That's Freddie and Cat. Oh my God. When Freddie asked his brother Jack, who has Down syndrome, oh my gosh, my heart, I cried. Like it was the sweetest thing when he asked Jack to be his best man. It was just so beautiful. And I still love Freddie and Cat, but I don't know if they can get there because they're both lacking some massive level of maturity, you know, and communication skills. So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen from here to there. Okay. But it is so good to watch for you guys to see it. Okay. The other people I want to talk about is, oh my gosh, I can't. Let's just go with Ollie and Demi. I just do not see and feel the chemistry. Like they have best friend vibes, 100%. But like it's best friend vibes and crazy chemistry passion. You got to have both if you're going to get married. You know what I mean? If you're going to have a long-term commitment with somebody, you can't be like, okay. Like, I just don't feel that chemistry where they're like, you can't get your hands off of them. You always want to be around them. And you know, I get some people don't like PDA for whatever reasons. Maria talked about that too with her culture, she being Muslim. I get that kind of stuff, but I even beyond that PDA stuff, I just do not feel the chemistry with them. And for that reason, I don't think they're going to get married. So yeah, Tom and oh my gosh, stop, Maria. I do not like, I actually like Tom and Maria, but Tom, the way that he was flirting with Tosh, I was like, hell no. I did not feel good about that for Maria. I was like, ew, Tom. I just was not. And Tom judging Maria for being a makeup artist, what the fuck? I was like, that's just so nasty. And then I love how Maria was like, you're trying to make me feel less than. Like no one's gonna make me feel less than, she said. And I love her for that. And that is so true. You know, I know that in my past, before I got my shit together and realized my worth, I would date guys that would make me feel less than. And so I love that she's in a place where like, no, you're not, I'm not going to allow that and tolerate that. And Tom really, it feels like he was open and for growth and respecting her opinion. And he felt bad for judging her for that. So that was nice of Tom. But then there's like a couple things that happened where they're talking about their first date when they went out for ice cream and he had her pay for it. And he's like, it's just ice cream. I'm like, no, Tom. I was like, no. The thing is that also, I don't like, though, this is important, you guys. Maria offered to pay for the ice cream. Well, bitch, if you're going to have a problem with it after, then don't offer. And I say bitch with love, Maria. You know I love you. But like seriously, I'm really adamant about making it clear when you go on a first date with somebody, you just say thank you. That's it. You're not going to do the whole like go for your wallet and oh, I'm going to, and then when they say, oh, go ahead. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Then you're going to get pissed about it. Like that sucks. Like that's not fair, you know? So, you know, and also you don't know where he may be coming from. He might think, oh, you're an independent, badass woman. You want to show that you don't need it. You know, he doesn't want to offend you. So like, you really have to kind of set them up for success instead of testing them. And that felt like a test. And how she just like, oh, you know, that's never how it should be done. A man should never feel okay with a woman paying, especially in the beginning of the courting. I agree, a man should be paying in the beginning while they're courting for sure, but they're already engaged. I'm confusion. Like, I'm like, Maria, you're engaged and you're testing him. Like, that's not fair. So this is kind of like the way that they both handled it. Like, I don't know, I just don't agree with how Maria handled it and judged him so harshly. But then it's like, you know, kind of escalating with the mortgage. And she's like, now you want me to pay some of the mortgage and I'm not on the deed. So it's kind of like everyone's kind of like their guard is up. No one's trusting anybody. It's like, oh shit, what is happening? So like, yeah, I was kind of, you know, really rooting for them. But because of the money, because of what's going on there, and because of Tosh and how Maria and how Tom was kind of, it really felt like he was flirting with her. I am going to say they're going to say no. I feel like they're no also. Yeah. And then and everyone's like not getting married. Wait, I love Sabrina and Steven. I love them. They're just so freaking cute. And I honestly, I have nothing bad to say about them. I have no concern. Like the only ew thing that happened with Sabrina's sister was like, maybe it's too perfect. I'm like, what? I really hope Sabrina doesn't listen to the sister because like, you know, I know the sister's coming from a good place, but like, I really think everyone is so jaded. Like so many people are jaded. So many people like don't believe in happily ever after. People don't believe that it's even possible to meet like a partner that can like light you up. You know, so I just truly feel that Sabrina and Steven are so aligned. They're having the best time. They just get each other. They have a sense of humor. They have that passion. Like it's perfect balance. So 100%. Like I wouldn't be mind blown if they said no. Like there's no way. There's no way I would bet on it. And I am a gambling person. Like not a huge gambler, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're amazing. Okay. And I have to talk to you about, I know there's so much that happened, but we have to talk about Jasmine and Bobby. Bobby totally won me over these last episodes. He was just so sweet. Well, the music video that Jasmine found was so cringe. I was like, oh my God, Bobby. But that was a few years ago and it was just like grimy music video, whatever. But he's on top of some like girl and whatever. It's just like a cheesy, gross video. It's not a porn or anything like that. It's just a music video. But she was kind of grossed out about it. But it triggered some things with her. And she was like, in my past, like she's always felt anxious and she always felt she wasn't safe. She was always checking their phone and who are you following? Who are you liking on social media? Which, by the way, is such a huge, like it is important when you're in a relationship to have the respect, you know, in real life when you're not around your partner and when you're with your guy friends or whoever, or when you're on social media, like you're not going to be following and liking like hot chicks and oh my God, you know what I mean? Like that is so disrespectful to your partner. And so I get what she's saying and she's experienced massive disrespect. and how she communicated it was so mature. Like, I absolutely love her. And Bobby, the way that he responded, I'm like, oh my God, they're communicating so well. This is amazing. And he reassured her, and he said he wasn't he wasn't raised that way, and he was gonna make sure. Like, he feels so honored and blessed, and just so like, I can't believe that he has a chance, an opportunity to spend his life with this amazing woman. So he's like, my job is to like every day make sure that you feel safe and secure. And like, I absolutely love him, and I believe him. I really believe him. And so when Jasmine's mom shows up, you guys, oh my gosh, I can't. Like, it's clear she loves Jasmine. Obviously, she's a really good mom, but she's so overprotective, and she's had 2 failed marriages. So you guys, like, these are things that you like, you might be watching the show and you're like, oh my God, that reminds me of my mom or my dad. And you got to be aware of like how much, like, setting boundaries and honestly kind of calling them out. Like, that's one of my favorite things about my mom. I can have a conversation with her and be like, Mom, that's not cool, whatever. And has such a growth mindset, and she respects me enough that she's always like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. And we grow together. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine's mom isn't gonna grow anywhere. Like, she's like, she does not like men, period. Like, she has massive limiting beliefs about men due to the experiences she's had. And so when she's meeting Bobby, she's already like, you know, no, you're not gonna be with my daughter. I don't trust you. I don't believe you. You know, don't hurt her. It's like so negative. And Bobby just stays quiet, and he's trying to reassure, but it's like Jasmine's mom's kind of made up her mind. Like, this is all too fast. This isn't going to happen. But at the end of the day, Jasmine's mom, you know, like, I really wish that, and I'm saying this, but like, seriously, when you have had failed marriages that haven't worked out, like, and you're like, oh, you need more time. Well, think about it. You probably had a lot of time and it failed. And that's why I'm so big on like, time doesn't matter. It's not about time. It's about alignment. So sometimes you do need some time to see if you are aligned. I get it. But this is like Bobby and her, and I feel like trusting Jasmine. She needs to trust Jasmine. Jasmine's mom, she did a good job raising her, and she just needs to trust her. And I love that Jasmine's mom was like, I'm so proud of her. But in that being said, is that I feel like the way that she interacted with Bobby was so guarded, and walls were up because of the experience that she's had. I get it, but you really need, you know, if you're right now, if you've been talking to somebody or dating and think about your life, if you have people around you that are jaded, also have had failed relationships, be careful with how much you let them in and hear their advice on your relationship that, you know, might be the right person. But when you start hearing all this negative shit, you start to get in your head about it. You start to get worried and scared, and maybe your guard starts to go up. So this is where right now, I don't know what's going to happen. It just depends on how much power Jasmine gives to her mom, how much she gets messed with in the head. It feels like Jasmine has healed from her past wounds for the most part. But I don't know. I feel like they're such a cute couple. I'm rooting for them. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes for them. And then, like, the last thing I have to say about all of this is Sam. You guys, I can't. Oh my God. First of all, wait. Before Sam, Nicole and Ben. That's right. So Sam shows up at the party, you know, and Sam is such a good sport, by the way, because like the last podcast episode, I said that Sam is quite the red flag. And I, based on what you see on the show, 100%. But now he shows up, and it was sweet to see his emotional side, right? And I love that. But then he kind of says something where I'm like, no, you didn't, Sam. He tells Ben something along Benaya, basically, Nicole wanted to have sex with Sam, and Sam said no. I'm like, Sam, did we really have to do that? I'm like, why are we going there? So like, this is where it's a lack of maturity. I really do. And I think that his ego is really at the wheel of the car right here. Like, he is just, and that you really need a massive level of maturity to be aware of like, why did I even say that? What's the purpose of that? You know, and I just feel like it was just bullshit. It was just bullshit. So next episode, I want to get more clarity on Sam. He's going to come back. So I want to see more about him and what he's coming from. But I love Benaya. I do. And I love Nicole. And they're just so good together. And I love seeing them so happy. They really feel like best friends. And the silliness is amazing. And they have that passion and they're so attracted to each other. So like that's it. So Nicole and Ben, yes, they're going to get married. Sabrina and Steven, yes, absolutely. And I'm on the fence about what's her face, Jasmine and Bobby. Let me know in the comments on YouTube if you're listening there. Please, I want to hear back from you. Do you agree with this? Is there someone that else, or are they all not getting married? Like, tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me who, if any of them have reminded you of like an ex, or maybe you're like Sam, or maybe you're like, you know, Tom, whatever it is. Let me know what is resonating with you on this show, and make sure you watch the next episodes because it's coming out on the 21st of August. I'm super excited, and of course I will unpack that then. Okay, so until then, remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. Till next time, thank you.